Discover the future of education in this captivating docuseries that takes you inside modern classrooms. From innovative teaching methods to cutting-edge technologies, witness the transformative power of student-centered learning and the incredible impact it has on shaping the minds of tomorrow. Here is your host, Laura Williams.
Hey, change agents. It's Laura Williams here. I am your host of the Hack the Class podcast. I'm super stoked. It's my first episode. I get to interview one of the coolest ladies you'll ever meet. Her name's Becky. I've had the privilege of working with her and learning from her and the amazing things she's doing with students in Okoboji, Iowa. We will visit with her as soon as she joins, and you will hear about how Becky approaches teaching and learning.
No Boundaries is a student-led, passion-based project where 8th graders get to work with real-life partners and have real-life work experiences.
All right, we are here with Hack the Class podcast with Becky Rients from Okoboji. I am super stoked that she is here after a long day, I'm sure, of staff development and all sorts of goodness before back to school. But Becky, can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself? I know they will love you just as much as I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. So my name is Becky and I'm currently in Okoboji, Iowa. I have the privilege of working at an amazing school district where half of my day I'm spending teaching and facilitating in a program called No Boundaries. And then the other half of my day, I'm just your average regular 7th grade English teacher. With No Boundaries, we are modeled after Iowa Big, and where we work with different partners in the community. And it's a passion-based, student-centered program where we really connect and have those awesome partnerships with our community. Working on future-ready skills, working on real projects, and making a real impact, which I'm sure we'll dive in more as we get going.
So time out. Just hold the phone. So middle school, eighth grade students are working with real partners in the classroom.
So we're being filmed as an offsite location. So part of this whole model of authentic.
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah, we are at our No Boundary space, as you can kind of see. It's a little bare because we haven't started, but there's plenty of flexible seating. There's lots of whiteboards. You'll see, well, you can't really see, but there's our little partner office. But we find that in order to really feel like a professional and be treated like a professional, we need a setting that emulates that. And so when you're in school, or typically middle school, you're going to act like a middle schooler, but it's something so amazing about when you walk through the doors. It's like the professional comes out in all of them and they're ready to get to work. We have them kind of strategically set up into different stations or areas to work with their teams. So we work with a variety of partners. So for example, this last year, we worked with the Arnold's Park amusement park. And so our partner was the CEO of Arnold's Park. And we also had our attraction supervisor. He was our other partner. And so they have this really cool train ride in Arnold's Park. And so they had this big bare wall and they're like, we want something engaging or eye-catching. And so when they pitch the project, just like every other partner, mid-September, the group decided which of the students wanted to be a part of it. And so they ended up coming up with the idea of a mural. And so the students did vision boards, they researched and spent some time with some historians in our area, went to the museums in our area to really understand more of the rich history because we wanted to connect this past and present idea. And so from there, they kind of had a running list of things or ideas, and then they had to find a muralist because the goal was to have it done by Memorial Day. And so, and asked for, and did a very business meeting and asked them to help partner with them in this endeavor and asked for a sizable donation. And so I don't know about you, but I haven't seen many 8th graders that are able to have a business meeting, let alone ask for $10,000.
Oh yeah.
So
that would be hard.
It went well.
That's hard to do for adults, right? Asking for money, but let alone an 8th grader.
Not every project is that as grand. One of our marinas in town, they wanted short form videos on how to deal with common boat issues. So how to pair a stereo to your boat, how to check the gear loop, how to dock your boat. So the teams, we went to the marina and the teams created all these videos so that when these things happen, when you're on your boat in the middle of a beautiful sunny day, that you can just pull up on YouTube, and then you can watch the video.
So they're content creators, like the
They
students
are,
creating
and
these.
they love it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they love it, but like it's useful too. Like the partner
Mhm.
is benefiting, the students are benefiting,
Yes.
they're contributing
Right.
back. Oh, that is amazing.
And it's a lot of fun just to see the relationship emerge, especially from the initial meeting of being awkward and not really knowing what to say, or we think we know what this project's about.
That's awesome. And I know, so like just for the listeners, like I know you've been at this, how many years now, like to build this amazing No Boundaries program. How long has No Boundaries been in place?
That's a great question. So we were awarded the STEM Best Grant in 2018. And so we started the middle school program that spring semester. We figured, hey, let's just like try this thing out and see if it works. It did. So we are actually starting our 7th year this year, which is crazy.
Gosh,
And Laura, I don't know if I've even told you this, but we are actually adding a school. So we have been an exclusive middle school program, which is crazy. And I will tell you that the students that are interested, our PR team does a presentation. The students apply. We have a lottery because we have so many applicants. Over almost 50% of our class size applies, which is so awesome that they want this experience.
All kids should have it, right? All kids.
Ideally, we'd love to.
Yeah.
We need a bigger space.
Right.
An exciting adventure and a good challenge, because after,
What's it look like?
6 years, we got to mix things up. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to like extend the program and see, like a lot of schools I know want, those future ready opportunities, and they're thinking, vertically, like how do we start connecting the dots here so that it's fluid for kids? No, that's awesome. So your space, can you tell us a little bit? So I see it really looks like, like it does look like a workspace. Like you're right. It doesn't look like a classroom at all. Oh, there we go. We can see a little bit more.
Yeah. So we are also still dealing with, there's a few messes because we're still cleaning, but you've got like the door that you're walking in here and some supplies, printer over there, some computers.
And this is walkable from the main campus?
Yep, it is. It is literally, it's just, there's a lovely sidewalk that we walk to every day, which is so great.
Oh,
so, yeah. So we have high tables, we have low tables, we have some TVs. We have 4 different TVs. We've got 2 long tables here. Very cool. And then I can just turn you around. So bathrooms, a little kitchenette, and then you'll see we have a cute little space for our partner meetings.
Yeah, I can imagine the partners coming in and the students being really professional and like pitching their ideas and getting feedback. Oh, I love that so much. How much time are kids in that room?
That's a really great question. So it's really awesome when you have an administrator and as a district that they're on board with all of this. And that is a key. You got to find those champions. But so we actually, once we moved down here 5 years ago, this will be our 5th year being here. Well, in Milford, we combined it with, it started off as an elective for 45 minutes. And when we first started, we were across the street from a bank, and it was great because we were there first thing in the morning, and it was so awesome being in the bank because that's professional right away. Like, and we had the lay of the land there because they didn't open the doors to the public till 9. So we had time in there. We had our meetings in their conference room. We had access to different areas there. And it was so much fun being able to work with the staff and just getting to know all of them. And so when we moved down to Milford, we had been asking for a space like this, but for a while, were renting a space across the street from our old middle school, and a similar setup with furniture and things like that. So once we got here, we decided that we needed more than 45 minutes. And so we also teach English as well. And so they're getting their 8th grade English as well as No Boundaries. So we're here 2 hours every day. And so sometimes we do more English and sometimes we do more No Boundaries. And a lot of times, I mean, you can't tell me when you're writing emails or you're communicating that those aren't English.
So you're merging the worlds of like, hey, you're actually hitting these learning targets through these projects.
Yes.
And you kind of can control that because you're the English teacher. And so you're merging those worlds. I love that. And for any teachers listening, like thinking about, what kind of projects could you align to your core subject area and what you're teaching? Would you say like I mean, I know you're the English expert. Do you think there are projects that align to like, social studies? I know you said past and present. I'm like, that sounds like social studies.
So we're non-discriminatory towards any type of project. We can connect with everything. And I would say, like, we work really hard to make sure that, so our English curriculum is the same as the regular English curriculum, or not regular, but that takes place as your 8th grade student that maybe isn't in No Boundaries, but how it looks a little different. But with our high school program, the beautiful thing about having multiple facilitators at different sites is one is an expert in social studies and has their degree in social studies. So he is in charge of doing more of those social studies themed or types of projects. And then, doing those seminars or those lessons on those specific standards that you maybe wouldn't get within your project.
You get the project. We're going to cross off all the like standards we're supposed to get from that project. And then you're going to have seminars or like mini classes almost around those things that maybe didn't stand up on their own naturally to ensure that students are getting the learning that they're supposed to be getting. Okay, I love that.
But I would say, so like with our new partnership facilitator at Harris Lake Park does social studies. And so we are having so much fun, even just coming up with ideas around curriculum, reaching out to those businesses that the kids are interested in and getting and pitching this whole idea of this program. So
you've really created a community for it. Like it's now, it's almost like institutionalized and people know about it. Okay, so question on implementation. So I see something behind you, but I don't want to like spill the beans. Tell us a little bit about how you like, what are the things that like, I'm thinking of professional learn, like if teachers are going to do this, what's going to equip them to help students manage these projects and to be successful in their endeavors? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we talk all about agile practices and the agile wheel. So making people awesome, delivering value continuously, having that safe environment, learning rapidly, being okay to fail and try again. And I think that's the hardest thing when you come from a traditional setting to more of an authentic setting is, and I'm very much a type A, but you go from lesson, test, lesson. And so when students come to this, it's like they assume that it's gonna all happen and it won't be good enough until it's completely done. Well, we don't know where this road is gonna take us, and so to that delivering little chunks or the little iterations and slivers of awesomeness with their deliverables along the way is what we want. And so we spend time,
so time out. People are like, what is she talking about? What's
I know so many words.
I know so many things you guys like. Hey, curiosity over anything else. If people start Googling this after hearing you speak, then we've won. But so agile and retrospectives, those are probably new terms for some people. So what is agile? We'll start there and then we'll kind of unpack the other.
Well, I feel like you being the expert, Lori, you can
I know, but like how does it play out in your world? Like what does it mean to you?
Well, I think agile, like to me, it's just like that ever evolving, moving cycle of like not being stuck and being open and being able to move and go with the flow and be open to the constant moving of this cycle and how projects or just even project-based learning, things happen. And
sounds like a lot of culture, like a lot of what you do really, the linchpin is the culture. Like you have to have that. Yeah.
Yes. And I think playing to people's strengths, but also being okay with not knowing things. And that's the other really cool part is like, I tell them, I'm not an architect. I'm not a graphic designer. Like, so I don't know.
What?
So
I thought teachers could do everything. No.
Right. There is no textbook about that. And you were talking about reflecting, and we do a lot of that. So
retrospection. It's like it's a routine, right? And so
it's a reflection. So we have our teams do it after every partner meeting. And so like that sliver of work so they had 3 tasks from the last meeting. They got those done. They presented them. And then they kind of review that last week or 2 weeks of work. And
I love that you put it in. Like, I love that it's okay to take the time to do that.
Yeah. And sometimes I think they spend more time than they really need to, but it's fine. That's the 8th grade part of it too.
Right. The socialization and yeah.
Those opening questions, sometimes they have too much fun with. Critical thinking.
Time out. Is that what you assess them against? Is kind of those in Iowa, we call them universal constructs, but you just kind of named some of them like collaboration and, critical thinking. We call 4 C's or whatever the audio, there's lots of different words for that, but is that kind of how you are? Are those the pieces that you kind of assess them against or see their growth?
Yes. So
Okay.
they score themselves, facilitators, we score them, and then we have a conversation. So we talk about, what's something that you feel like you did really well in, or like something you're proud of. What's something you want to get better at come our next one-on-one? And then do you have any roadblocks? And then what's a success, big or small? And it's
I
just
love
fun
that.
to listen to those. Yeah. And just really have those honest conversations and really.
I can only imagine just the dynamic when you kind of shift the way you approach learning. Like
Mhm,
it truly sounds like they own the learning, they own the space, they have to make decisions, they have to
mhm,
work collaboratively. I love that so much. I know we're kind of running out of time, but I did want to ask you a few
mhm,
questions, a few more. This is a nuts and bolts thing, just because I think as we talk to people all over the globe, what's a technology or a tool that really supports this sort of innovative learning environment, or
mhm,
something that you would recommend, if someone was going to approach this? What's something
mhm.
that could help them, I guess?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say you need to connect with Laura because she's created
Oh,
some
I'm a
amazing
tool.
resources.
I'm a tool.
Seriously. Um,
Brian, don't put that
and
in there.
and I would say, something that's been really awesome for us is we use Slack for this. So
Okay.
their
Slack.
channels, it's platforms. It's a platform that a communication platform. So we have channels for each group. We have channels for English. We have a general channel. And so you're able to share documents, pictures. We do daily stand-ups. So every day the students are putting in there what they're working on today, how long it's going to take, if they have any roadblocks. So we're seeing what they're doing, and that also holds them accountable for their time here.
I just think about all the problems that solve. The
Mhm.
age old, well, Susie does all the work in the project.
Yes.
Like that solves that. Knowing like who's stuck, like that can be a challenge. Like you can
Mhm.
visibly see, hey, Roger, I'm just making a name. Roger,
Mhm.
why is this still in the doing? Why hasn't it gotten done? Or
Right.
you, the teacher, can assess like where they're at. And I know that there's like a million more gold nuggets from you, Becky. Like I wish we had more time, but hopefully people will get in touch with you to learn more. I'm gonna ask one more question. And I love this question because I think like everyone has sort of that thing that really drives them and they're really passionate about. And I am really curious, like, we want to inspire passion in our students, but Becky, what's your passion area,
Mhm.
or your, what I call your educational hill to die on, the thing that
Mhm.
really, like, you're really passionate about? What's that one thing? Well, and there might be many, but like
Yeah.
right now, what comes to mind?
I think in regards to this program, and to me, it's just that student-centered learning. But so my husband, he did not enjoy education at all, and I think about like when this opportunity and when we were first talking about like what this could look like, and I was told like, there's no way eighth graders can do this, and I was like, yes, there is. Let me show you. But I think of his experience, and I think of like he would have thrived in an environment like this, and so like I think all of this and this like is people like him that necessarily like don't love sitting in desks and doing math and English every day, like where I would love that. But that being able
Yeah,
to build things and being able to work together and be in the business where they're like have these awesome projects and just have a different experience and feel successful and feeling confident, in an area like this where maybe some students haven't felt that success anywhere else. And that's the
right.
cool thing about it, is seeing those, like the confidence when you're having this, talking to the students and seeing how far that they've come. Like for me, that just makes my heart happy, and it gets
Oh,
me teary eyed a little bit
I
just
know.
thinking of just like the success and just seeing the growth,
Yeah,
that takes place.
it changes things, and
Mhm.
like if you weren't good in the traditional academic setting,
Yes.
you think you're no good, or you think school's not for you, or but then you come to your class and but you're changing trajectories. Like you're giving them hope for the future. They're seeing potential future pathways,
Mhm.
working with different area businesses. And I don't know, I just think what you're doing is so awesome. And honestly, everyone listening or watching this, definitely get in touch with Becky. She's awesome. She is open to sharing things, and you got to follow her on social. Let's take a minute. How can people look you up, look what you're doing? You have an awesome social media, student driven. Like, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit how we can get in touch with you.
Yeah, I would say follow us Facebook, Instagram, X, Noble Middles, and you'll see all of the awesome things that we're doing. And you can connect with us on that as well.
Thank you so much for being here. And we just hopefully just hacked the class. So
Yeah, and come visit. We are open to visitors. So,
and honestly, everyone, Iowa's not, I know what you're thinking, Iowa, but Okoboji is pretty sweet. Like we learned that there's a marina, so there must be water, and we learned that there is an amusement park, so there are rides. It's a fun part of the state. Definitely worth a visit for sure. So Becky, I have a favor. Will you sign my book? And do you want to know why?
absolutely. And why, Laura?
Because yo, in it, girl, you put in oh my gosh. If you want to learn about No Boundaries Middles and see kind of a holistic overview, Becky has been kind enough to contribute to the improvement game. And there's a whole section dedicated to the overview of the nuts and bolts of what this looks like. So check it out, the improvement game, a Codebreaker EDU production.
You'll love it.
You'll love.